Good evening. How's it going, YouTube? Welcome to Imperator Rome. I've already done a little bit of content on this, and the embargo was up a little while ago. I've just been so busy with the DLC launch that I haven't gotten to this yet, and honestly, it was still really tempting to just hit the Warhammer 2 DLC, but I was like, you know what? I like this game. It's just about to come out. Let's get some more coverage on it. And then this is a Paradox game, by the way, folks. It's made by Paradox Interactive, called Imperator Rome. It's a grand strategy game based in the ancient time period. It is pretty exciting. So yeah, pretty darn excited about this. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now, it is very different from Total War in the sense that this game does not have a battle map. So if you start in this video and you're like, where's the battles? The battles are very different. They happen on this map. It's not like a played out battle map. So it's a bit of a different game, but it's a fun game, and it requires a little bit different type of play. But yeah, so other stuff coming up soon. I actually worked with Paradox. They put me in touch with the right person. There is a new DLC coming out for Surviving Mars that I'm pretty sure I'm going to get early access to, where we can actually terraform the planet, making it habitable. So that's going to be cool. We're going to do like we're going to become the Church of Sotek, the Cult of Sotek, gone to establish Lustria on Mars. So I'm pretty excited about that one as well. Welcome everybody, by the way. Minuano, Gary, AC5025, Stafford, Johnner, Ian, Cole, Devilmax, and Warner. Welcome, folks. We got 43 of you all wonderful people out there. Feel free to chat away, ask me questions about the game. I'll tell you what I can. I have now played the big multiplayer event on this game, and I've played my own single-player campaign up until conquering Rome. I could load that save, but that takes away some of the experience for you all of starting the game out. And I will do my best to explain some things about the game. I do not know it perfectly. Some of you may still be giving me advice, but that's how this game is going to be for a while because Paradox games are relatively new to me. I honestly didn't think I would like this game at all. I used to see people playing it, and I was like, that's boring. I don't want to see that unless there's a battle map. I do miss the battle map. I can't lie. But let's swap over to the game here. I do miss the battle map. But you know what? Once I got used to it, there's a satisfaction in the way that the game works out. It's kind of like a board game, except a lot more fun. So anyway, we're going to mix gender rules. That's actually kind of cool. You can enable gender equality in the country if you so desire, and static rules, gender. So what's kind of neat about this, and it's not because I'm like going for any kind of like, you know, like statement or whatever political thing. What's cool is that sometimes there'll be female characters, and depending on your country, they can't fill certain roles because of historical things. And the cool thing about that is like if you had a female character that had like a really high military prowess or something, it'd be awesome to use her as a commander. But we're not going to do that for now. We'll just play it normal. But that is kind of an interesting setting that they allow that, because some countries can't really make use of those, because if it doesn't fit historically, I don't think it fits. Anyway, let's get started as Carthage. So I'm going to select Carthage. We start off with 111 cities and 1,083 populations, and these represent kind of like a big group of people. You can see the mix here. It's almost all Canaanite Carthaginian, so fairly well homogenized population, but we've got quite a mix here. So we've even got some Canaanite Phoenician. That's cool. Those people must have just recently come over from Phoenicia. And then we have 381 citizens. So a citizen population is basically helping to provide you like research points. So they help drive your research. The freemen population, I believe, help drive the manpower, and I'll explain more about these in a minute. The tribesmen can drive manpower, but I also think they provide some economy. And then I think it's the same thing with the slaves. I don't know if they add to manpower, but I know that they drive a lot of economy. So this is telling you the breakdown of those populations. So, and then in terms of diplomacy, we have a lot of subject states to start off with. We have the gym, apparently, with Gymnasia. Massalia, Musalamia, and Acola, Hadramentum, Leptis Minor, Thapsus, Utica, and you can see where they're at on the map as I highlight them, potentially. Tripletania, and we've also got Emporia, Eol, and Kirkoane, however you say that. Yeah, I can't say it right. But anyway, it's kind of nice that we have all these subject states to start with because they have little armies that will help us out. So, and then each character has this martial, finesse, charisma, and zeal traits, right? So the higher the martial trait, the better a commander they are. The higher the finesse, they're better at governing and, you know, certain types of research. Charisma obviously is like an oratory thing, so it helps in terms of, you know, gaining more oratory power or certain actions that use that oratory power. And then, of course, the zeal is kind of like religion. So a character with really, you know, big religious influence obviously is going to have more of that zeal, as far as I understand it. And this guy is our ruler to start with, Marharbal Gerbalid. I probably can't say it right, but that's okay. And he starts off with decent military prowess here. So let's get started, shall we? So as it starts, it says, Sons of Tyre. An ancient and proud civilization, Carthage holds a firm grip on the southern coast of the Mediterranean. Numerous colonial dependencies lie in thrall to the maritime giant, dotted on the coast of Iberia and on islands throughout the western parts of the sea. The seafaring heritage of the Carthaginians remains unparalleled, extending territorial and economic dominance far and wide. However, the island of Sicily has remained a constant thorn in the side of the Carthaginian hegemony for many decades. Agathocles, the self-styled tyrant of Syracuse, still reigns in the eastern part of the island, having secured a tentative peace with Carthage and prolonging Greek presence there for the time being. Further north, the young and uncivilized Italic states wage bitter war on one another. That's going to be Rome and the others. Though there are rumors that one insignificant state is emerging to challenge the balance of powers in Italy. They call themselves Rome. Carthage shall endure. Believe it, people. The hype is real. Roma dolenda est. All right. So let me introduce you to the map. The game is paused right now. This is a real-time game. So when you unpause it, things start moving. So all the other factions are going to be taking their turns at the same time we are. And folks, just check out the size of this map. Holy map. Look at this. This goes all the way from the Isles of Britannia down to Iberia, across the northern coast, all the way down to the, like into, what is this, Upper Egypt, and into like a small part of Africa here, which is amazing. You've got all across the Arabian Peninsula here, over across into the Indian Ocean, and you've even got all of India, and even, look at this, like even a couple up here on the other side of the Himalayas. The map is incredible. Absolutely incredible. Huge, huge map. So it gives you a lot of potential options. You can play as any of these factions, as I understand it. And each one has a different type of government or tribal system that means that they control a little bit different. The way their governments work are a little different. And it creates a different type of challenge for each one. Some of them have different colonizing mechanics, and it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. So it's a huge map. So lots of opportunities there. Now we're going to start off, it's telling us we have a bad research ratio. That makes sense. Let's check out some of our stuff here. We don't have a leader in our first army, and this is just nine cohorts. Let me show you how the armies work. So this is obviously one of my armies. It's 10,000 men, which is consisting of 10 cohorts of troops, 1,000 each. The different types of cohorts you can recruit, you can get heavy infantry, light infantry, slingers or bowmen, heavy cavalry, light cavalry, chariots. Amongst some of those is just an instance. So I have a bunch of light infantry. It tells you what they're good against here. And they're really not good against anything. They just don't have any penalties versus camels or cavalry or other light infantry, right? But some of those others, their damages take penalties because they're just light infantry. They're really best when you're using like a skirmishing type of stance. Elephants, on the other hand, you can see here, do extra damage against archers. They do extra damage against chariots, extra damage against heavy infantry and light infantry. So kind of gives you an idea of how these different units play out. Now you can recruit the different units to your army here. So right now I can recruit slingers, hoplites, skirmishers, or war elephants, and there are more units that we'll get access to when we have the right resources. Okay, and you can pick a leader for your army. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. So we want to pick a leader. This is our faction leader. It's actually kind of cool to have him as the leader of our army. I want to do that. So we're going to pick him. So now our faction leader is leading the Carthaginian First Army. You can see that right here. We have a second army in place that is further along the African coast towards Io, and we'll need to pick a leader for that one as well. We want to pick folks that have as good a martial ability as possible, and we also are kind of checking into loyalty. There's prominence, popularity, all kinds of things that play in. But loyalty is good because if they're disloyal, there's a chance they could leave and take their army with them. Same thing with governors. They could leave and take their province with them. And you can end up with all kinds of civil unrest and lots of problems. Let me go ahead and say hi to a few more people. NJ Devils, welcome. Matthew Wong, Lazar, Swabian in Exile, Beard Gamer, welcome. Sean Shrimplin, let's see, Swashbuccaneer, Nicola, welcome. Look, we got Nicola's homeland over here, right? Serbia, I may not get it perfect, but you guys are, what, right up in here somewhere in the, what, in this point would have been like the Illyrian coast, right? I'm probably getting all kinds of wrong, Nicola, I apologize. But I know it's somewhere in this general vicinity. But welcome. So yeah, I mean, just the number of countries is absolutely awesome. We got Desperi from Greece. Yeah, we got Greece here. The entire Peloponnese. Pretty awesome. Macedon, Epirus, Sparta, Athens. Look, Phrygia even has some holdings here. Look at the size of Phrygia starting out. Huge presence here in Phrygia. You got the Seleucid Empire, stretching where Alexander had left it. Ptolemaic Egypt. Pontus, Armenia. Really cool stuff there. Nicola's like, you're generally right. Yeah, I was trying to get close. So let's take a look at a few more starting things. We have unused trade routes in our capital. Every different resource has a different benefit that it gives you based on whether you have a surplus of it there or you're importing it. And it tells you all this here. So like if I have a surplus, then we get more manpower if we have iron. If there's a surplus in the capital, I get extra discipline for my heavy infantry troops. When we're exporting it, we get extra discipline. What I really want to import right now is everything that's focused on growth. I want to start growing my population size, and the reason why is I'll have more people that are aiming to help build up my treasury. You can see here we're a little bit negative right now in our monthly treasury. And then we also have this manpower statistic here. Now, manpower is what you get all your troops from. So if I'm going to recruit new troops, I need to have the manpower, and 1,000 men per cohort, you know, it's going to take 1,000, you know, and then as you start losing troops to attrition or battle, you have to have this manpower to replenish them. So going low on manpower is very bad. So I want to grow my population and be focused on making sure I have solid manpower, or else we won't be able to wage war or defense. Here, this is our military power. This is used to get you military traditions. So once you have enough points, you can get a new military tradition which improves a certain aspect of your military. This civic power here gives you the ability to do several things, but as you gain civic power, I'm trying to think of some of the most common things they use the civic power for. I know it's going to come back to me here in a minute, I'm going to remember it, but I think you have to use civic power whenever you're like installing... Oh, what the heck is it? Well, there's some diplomacy stuff that requires civic power. So, like, for instance, I'll give you all a look here, or maybe it's not diplomacy. See here, you got to have military power to take this diplomatic action, or oratory power, which is this one right here, to take it. I'm trying to. I think you need it to colonize. I think you need it to also do to gain technology. I think you use the civic power to upgrade your technology. So that's what it is. Yeah, it's technology. So if you go into the tech tree, see, once you get enough civic power, we can upgrade one of these different technologies. And I'll talk more about technology in a minute. There's a lot to take in this game. It's very in-depth. This is our religious power and oratory power here. So oratory power can be used for certain actions like assimilating a populace, or diplomatic actions, or other stuff like that. And then religious power, you can use it to convert different populace, or to do religious rites that give you certain benefits and stuff like that too. For the quad core, thanks for the 2. He says this Rome 2 remastered looks great. Man, just imagine if Rome 2's map and faction list was this size. Holy mackerel, would that be awesome. I think the map on Rome 2 only comes out to like, what, somewhere like right in here? And then kind of like down through here, I think. Or, no, I think I know an Attila came down here to like Himyar and stuff. So there's pieces of it that got close. Are there family trees? Yes, there is. Here is our... that's a good comment. Characters. I'm still trying to remember where everything's at. Here's your characters. And all these different characters are in families as well. And so each family, you can see, how they're... Like, if a family doesn't have someone with a job or something like that, they feel scorned. All your characters... Now, see, look right here. See? This is why that gender equality thing was kind of interesting. Like, I can't use Dido here in a military, but she and, like, this dude right here has also got some pretty serious military prowess. I think you can go up to, like, a level 15, 14, or 15. And so being level 9 to start the game, Dido would be awesome at leading an army, if that were possible. It's not in the Carthage faction unless you clicked that gender equality thing. Because they're, I think, going on kind of a more historical basis, like, was it documented that they had women leading the armies and stuff like that. But I noticed that some of the Iberian mercenaries and stuff I hired had women leaders, which is kind of cool. Let's see, so I'm going to start importing some fish and some grain into the capital at Carthage. This tells us where we can import it from. So there's a city very nearby that's got it, and then Massalia has it as well. Let's just bring it in from Massalia. So we're going to start importing that grain, and then I'm going to bring in some fish. We'll bring it in from Emporia, which is another one of our states. So now we're filled up on trade routes in Carthage. We still have forces that don't have a commander. Our navies need commanders. I'm not going to have a lot of great commanders available to me yet. So I'm just going to put some commanders out here so that we have them. I'm not particularly worried about the navy. Our navy is enormous to start with. It's absolutely enormous. We have... I believe, here I can click on the button. We have 62 ships to start with our navy, and we have 19 cohorts in our army. If you take a look at Rome by comparison, Rome has 4 ships. Yeah. We have the largest starting navy in the game. No one can touch us, navy-wise. You see 32 ships for Phrygia. So the navy is our advantage as Carthage, and it means that if you use that navy right, no one is touching North Africa other than the folks who are already there, and they're pretty easy to contain. Rome cannot touch you as long as you keep that ship count up and keep some focus on good commanders when the time comes in those ships. Rome cannot touch you. So that's one way to keep yourself safe and help yourself grow as Carthage, is to deny Rome access to the seas. Alright, so we still got a couple of forces here. We got our 3rd Navy. And I didn't check these guys' loyalty or anything. That probably wasn't smart. But I think they're all decent to start with. We now have some scored families because they don't have jobs yet. In terms of inventions, it also says that we have unbalanced... what's this guy? He's level 9. That's pretty good. It's telling us bad research ratio. I mean, honestly don't know why it gets like that. I don't know that I have anybody who can do higher here. I mean, maybe I can, but the research right now is, at least as far as I know, it's not bad. We've got a researcher in every position. You're looking at martial, civic, oratory, and religious, and as they level up, see it says current level 0 on all of them. As they level up, more options pop up over here, but you do have to use up the ones that are there in order to get to the newer options. So when I'm looking at starting, there's a few things that I want to do. So like, I want to do these first ones that buff up our economy to start early. So I'm going to do property tax, and it asks you if you're sure. It tells you what the benefit is. And I now don't have enough civic power to do another one. So we started with property tax. We can also start an omen with our religious power, and I'm going to do the blessing of Melkort, which is going to give us an extra 19% to our national tax. You could also do this commerce income with the blessing of Dagon. I'm going to do this one right here. I guess I feel like taxing people tonight. This is the speed of the game right over here, and the date. Now this is based on the founding of Rome, and it says for those who prefer the Gregorian calendar, the game starts on the 1st of October 304 BCE, but it's based off of a Roman calendar. So that's what the date is up here. The speed is set to 3, which is a pretty good playing speed. I'm going to hit play, so now the campaign map is active. So we need to come up with some of our first objectives, and honestly, one of the things that I like to do is get out here and conquer Massalia early, and we can pretty much do it with the armies we have. As you see, they only have 17 cohorts. We should be able to get in there, and there's mercenaries nearby, but before I do that, I like to get my economy shored up. As the game starts, we should start getting some trade offers from people. We have a port blockaded right now, too. I'm going to order my navy down here to get rid of these pirates that are blockading one of my ports. This is like your notification bars up here, so you got to keep an eye on those. And here's our first trade request, which we'll accept. I basically just start accepting every trade request, unless it's like obviously coming from someone that I expect is going to be a big enemy. But see, we're taking all those trade requests. There was some pirates that actually came down right on top of the harbor at Carthage. So this is how battles take place in the game. Oh man, I should have had a better commander. You can see your morale here, and if your morale goes to 0, that's how you lose the battle. Fortunately, we have a lot of ships, and we're going to outnumber the pirates. My commander's not great, but he got the job done, and this will actually help him level up over time by winning battles. And so we're going to send our fleet back up here to Carthage. Let's see, we got another blockaded port right here, so let's take our ships out of port and contest these blockades. And it shows you the battle going on right down here, the Battle of Mare Ibericum. So you can see we're going to easily defeat these pirates to get our ports freed up. And let me pause it and just kind of explain a couple more things. Right here we have stability of our nation, and we are at a +1 stability. You can go as high as +3 and as low as -3. And -3 means there's going to be some serious penalties waged against you. You do not want your stability to go too low. So the kind of things, there's like events that pop up that can cause stability to go low. And then there's also things you can do diplomatically that are going to drop your stability. So if you just go out willy-nilly declaring war on people, your stability drops. So you have to go about the right way of declaring war without dropping your stability. In order to raise your stability, the only way I'm aware of it is either 1, through an event where you get lucky and it gives you an option to increase your stability, or 2, you can sacrifice a bunch of pigs. So right here you got the knife to the pig button, and you have to have a certain amount of religious power and you can increase your stability. So we do have to watch stability. This is our aggressive expansion. As you start to expand aggressively into other territory, this starts to go up. Right now you can see it's decreasing by 0.08 per month, and that it's because we're not at war, and we have certain benefits from our leader or whatever else it is. Tyranny is right here as well. So the higher the tyranny is, there could be bad benefits. So you got to keep track of these two things. Generally speaking, if you're not being an absolute jerk of a leader and not being at war, these things will be going down a little. But it depends on a lot of factors. So you got to watch that, because you get some severe penalties if they get out of whack, depending on your government type. And our government type is an oligarchic republic, and that comes with the benefit of being able to have 1 civic idea and 2 oratory ideas. Ideas are basically something that help you focus. So a civic idea, we want to pick one of these civic ideas so we can drop the cost of buildings. We can earn more on complex tariffs, so that's actually pretty cool. And then our slave output can be increased. I'm going to pick this complex tariffs, and then I'm going to come in here and select an idea. These are oratory ideas, so we can embracing sanction will cost less. This actually pushes up our general and admiral loyalty. That's actually kind of a good thing, because we don't want them turning on us. And then this one, improve opinion maximum, +33%. You all may not know what this is, but it is a diplomatic action. And this is really good in case we need to try and have another nation increase their opinion of us so that we can vassalize them or get military access or whatever else it is that we need to accomplish. Also, I'm going to go in here and take a look at my governors. These are the different provinces that we have control of, and we have a governor in each of those provinces. And this is basically the policy that governor's following. This little child one is basically showing that you're giving that region some autonomy, and you're going to lose a lot of income, but you get the flip side of that the folks will be happy because you're allowing them to operate autonomously. This one basically gives you an extra import route. This one means that they're trying to assimilate the culture or convert the culture. This cost oratory power to switch this. You can see there it costs 35. I've only got 75 oratory power right now, so I'm going to leave these alone for the moment. And let's go ahead and hit play again. Actually, I meant to look at that and just make sure that no one is bleeding the population dry. Yeah, right here, see the governor policing, bleed them dry. It gets me a lot of extra tax, but it's going to make people really angry. So I'm going to actually switch that over to acquisition of wealth. Get another trade offer from the Numidian local power. We're going to take it. Now, how do you declare war on people without increasing stability? Joe T, what's going on? Pilgrim, it's good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We got 150 folks watching. Thank you for being here tonight. So see, here's like a dilemma that comes up. It's the shame of a governor. In the midst of a fallow season, whatever this guy's face is, one of our most esteemed governors held a vast lavish party at his summer palace. Even his most loyal subordinates were shocked by the display of contempt for the plight of the common man and have written directly to us demanding that some manner of justice be served. Demand a payment to the city. So he has to pay back the city, but then he loses loyalty because we're making him, do that, and he doesn't like us. We can demand his resignation, which will get us extra tax and make the people have less unrest. He will get kicked out as the governor, and he will hate us for it. Or we can say the commoners are not our problem, which means that guy loses popularity, but he gains loyalty to us. We look at all this stuff. Losing 10 loyalty, and we gain a granary, that's actually kind of helpful right now. I'm going to take that. The granary helps grow your population, and it makes the local slave population a little bit happier. So we're going to do that. And as far as our holdings, we have holdings on, I believe this lower island is Sardinia, right? I think we have the holdings on Sardinia, we have the holdings in Sicily, and we've got a little bit of holding over here in Iberia, and of course all along the African coast. This is unclaimed territory here that we might be able to colonize later. Who's my first round draft pick? Oh man, definitely Kyler Murray. Senshi. Boomer Sooner all the way. Accept offer. We can get a new invention. I'm going to do this standardized measures, so that's going to push up our income just a little bit again. You can now see that our income is in the positive, which is great. I want to go conquer up the territory of the Massaisali. I don't know if we have enough oratory power at the moment. We do not, I'm sure, actually. We need 200 oratory power to fabricate a claim on their lands, and that claim will allow us to declare war on them without having a stability hit. So right now, we just need to kind of keep building things up. Alright, the Latin power of Lucania is resting to import base metals. So we're going to say yes. There's different filters down here. Terrain, political, culture, religion, provinces, trade goods. So this is our different trade goods. I don't know where the dang legend is for this stuff, but populations. I mean, you got all your different map modes down here. Barbarian. So you can see here, barbarians will spawn in these areas, and it tells you what the frequency is, so we have to be prepared to protect these areas from barbarian spawns that come from unoccupied areas. Trade, players, so this shows you if there's any other human players in the game. I might have you all start joining me as we stream when the game's released. Fortifications. This is a zone of control, so it shows you what area, in that little dashed blue line, is controlled by the forts, so enemy armies can't really move around at will in that area without going and sieging the fort and trying to take the fort. Make sense? Hopefully. This game is probably a more accurate representation of what Rome 2 is historically. They're just different ways of representing it. I don't think either one's perfectly accurate by any means. This one is a more management-focused game, whereas Rome 2 is probably more battle-focused, right? It's more battle-focused. Both of them have elements of history, elements of farce, but this one is fun, for sure. Alright, so it says, it is said that even his own mother couldn't trust Hannibal to be alone for more than a moment. He truly is utterly useless. Great. He gains the incapable trait. That's great. I love that. Thanks a lot. Jerks. Also, for your armies, there's supply limits, and let me explain that. So this army, oh geez, we're getting lots of trade offers. This is great. We're going to take them all. Bring it. Okay, and because you can see that's actually starting to drive up my income quite nicely. We're now earning 7.55 per month, whereas it was negative when we started, so we're already picking up a lot of income. Yes, yes, please. So our army, what was I going to show you? Oh, there's different stances that our army can take. You can take a shock action, an envelopment, a skirmishing, or deception. Since we have so much light infantry, you can see that we're getting a huge bonus, and we should really set this army to skirmishing. But there's also different benefits that those different stances offer, or penalties against the others. So it kind of just depends. We have a different. This is showing us what your attrition is right now. We're not suffering any. Our supply weight. So see, it says 7.5. So that means we have to have 7.5 supplies to be able to keep this army from suffering attrition. In our current province, there's 48 supplies, so we won't suffer any attrition. So when you move through a province that has low supplies, you'll start to suffer attrition. And attrition can be brutal in this game. Don't underestimate it. Alright, it says choosing sides. As many more veteran members of our blessed political institution know, youth is a wonderful state of joy, experience, and most importantly, gullibility. Bamical has recently emerged fresh-faced onto the political scene, espousing a rhetoric of the mercantile faction. Like vultures to a corpse, those desperate to sway Bamical to their cause have descended, each using their cunning to try and recruit him. Perhaps it behooves our Suffet to step in and show him the true path. So if we don't interfere, he gains conviction for the populist faction. If we do, we lose oratory power, but then he gains conviction for the military faction. I don't want to use any of my oratory power because I want to get a war started. Accept another trade route, and we will get to fighting soon. I'm kind of building up a little gold. Our manpower is almost at its peak. We're regaining 270 men each month, and it says there you have 183 from populations and 88 from subject states. So it'll build up to a maximum of 68,975, which is a decent starting manpower for sure. It's not bad, but we'll want that hundreds of thousands of strong in the later game. Welcome everybody. If you're just joining the stream, I've been doing my best to try and explain the game a little bit. You can see here we've actually gained some tyranny, but it's going down by 0.02 each month right now. So it's not bad at this point, not bad. We almost have enough oratory power. You can see we're gaining it +7 because of the base, the government, and the ideas, all that kind of stuff, right? So we're gaining oratory power, and we're gaining civic power, which means we can do technology soon. The military power is building so that we can get different traditions. One of the first ones I like to go with is Born in the Saddle, which is a light cavalry tradition. Let's just do a little demonstration here, give you guys an idea. We're actually making really good income now, so let's add some troops to our army. We're going to recruit. I really want access to light cavalry. And we don't have horses, though, right now. So let's go to our trade route. And we got this, we're importing iron, which I don't really care that much. Let's take this one. I'm going to cancel this trade route. When does it cancel it? I thought it canceled it. Got an invention. Starting experience. Let's improve our trireme discipline, because that's going to be helpful to keeping the Romans and the other people off of us with their navy. It's not a big improvement, but it's an improvement. This will cancel this trade route. Okay. Alright, so we're no longer importing the fish. Ah, crap. Can we not import horses? Yeah, we can. Okay, here we go. Alright, so we're going to import horses. And we can import them from Zaba and Numidia. Alright, so now we have horses. We can come in here, and we can recruit both heavy and scout cavalry into the army. I'm going to start with scout cavalry. It's cheaper to maintain, but you can see heavy cavalry is useful against archers, camels, chariots, light cavalry, and light infantry, whereas our scouts are going to be good against chariots, archers, horse archers, light infantry, that kind of thing. So we'll just start with some scouts. I'm going to build 5 cohorts of scout cavalry, so that'll increase our army size to 15,000. I'm going to keep the elephants, even though they're really expensive. Right here it's saying that it wants the flanking cohorts to be our cavalry. That's good. That's a good role for them. Secondary cohort is an elephant, and our primary cohorts are the light infantry. I'm actually going to switch this up a little bit. I don't know if this is actually smart, but I'm going to put our elephants up front because they're good at smashing infantry, and then as secondary, I'm going to put the light infantry. So you can see our units are recruiting in, and they've actually finished recruiting. So our army is now ready to go, at least ready enough. And let's take this army here. I don't think I want to recruit a lot of units into that army right at the moment. And I'm going to start marching this army towards the frontier with Macezalia. And we're going to go in here. I now have enough oratory power to fabricate a claim. And so in order to fabricate a claim, basically we're going to pick a chunk of land that we say, hey, that belongs to us now. You hear? Not you. So like right here, see this province? It's a small province, but I'm going to say, you know what? That province is mine. So now we fabricated a claim on it. That gives us a casus belli, or however you say it, against Massalia. So once our diplomat arrives on the 17th of September, 453, then we will be able to declare war without taking a stability hit, because we're saying, hey, look, we're just declaring this war because that's our land, not yours. All right, so this guy with the huge name has been showing great promise in civic duties, has become renowned as quite an artisan. He recently completed a marvelous design for a new training camp. We could erect this masterpiece on behalf of the state. However, such architectural vision would surely be valuable to the right investor. So we can build it for the state, which gains loyalty, and we get a training camp. And training camps help boost national output, and it makes the, I think, tribesmen or freedmen happy. I think it's tribesmen, I can't remember anyway. I may get it wrong. If you needed gold, you could say no, but we're going to say for the state. We're going to take that training camp. And I've got some gold that we can go ahead and start spending, by the way. I'm going to introduce you all to something new here just real quick, too. If maybe this is new to you. You got the macro builder over here, and basically what this thing does is it lets you, like, convert populations, assimilate populations, build buildings, or, you know, look for trade routes at a higher level, and be able to do things more quickly without having to click into each city. So a marketplace is a building, for instance, that increases local tax, and the training camp is the one that increases the manpower, and the fortress, of course, adds the enemy now has to siege, and for every level of fortress, it requires at least 5,000 troops to siege. So this is a good way of stopping crap stacks from rampaging through your lands. And then a granary helps with population growth. And of course, population growth is good because the more population growth we have, bigger economy grows and all that other kind of stuff. I'm going to go ahead and build a couple of marketplaces. So you can see here, I can click on anywhere that's green to build the building. And I'm going to build a couple of granaries too. Just going to kind of spread those out a little. That's going to spend up our money. So I'm going to put some of our money to work. You can see your buildings, how long it's going to take to finish them over here. Let's hit play. All your armies are over here as well. People are saying this is what Total War Rome 2 should have been. You know, maybe. Maybe. As long as they still had a battle map. I really like the battle map, and I do miss it in this game. I miss it. Speaking of, let's pick our army. See here how it has a supply limit. If I go into anywhere where we don't have enough weight, right now our weight is 12.5, so if I go into any place with less than 13 supplies, we're going to start taking attrition. I've moved into position. We want to make sure we're completely in position because we need to swoop in to Massalia and start capturing land. Now, in this game, if you don't capture the land you said you were going to by a certain point in that war, or if you don't accomplish your mission in that war, you may be forced into making peace with the other country. And we don't want that. We want to accomplish our mission, so I want to be right here ready to invade the territory that we said is ours. And I'm very nearly there, so I'm going to wait till we're right here. I'm looking around. I don't see a fortress until all the way over here, so we should be able to swoop in and grab a whole bunch of land really fast. But if we see the enemy armies, we'll want to get in and defeat them as quick as we can. Let's declare war, and you can see here our war goal is to take Maturia, which is that province that we said is ours, and you can see I'm not getting any stability hit. If I was, it would be right here. This is telling me all that my subject states are going to join me, probably, and then the enemy has no allies, so good luck with that, chumps. And guess what, folks? We're at war, and it gained us 5 tyranny, too. Apparently people don't like being forced into subjugation. I can't understand why. This is impassable terrain, so that's why our guy is walking all the way around it. We could actually just come back here, and we'll start invading right there. So whenever you step into a province, this shows you the siege progress. There's a 100% chance that we're going to capture this progress, or this province, as soon as this bar hits that. All right? So now you can see with the little green lines there, we are occupying that province. It doesn't automatically come to you. It has to be part of a peace deal. But right now, we're occupying it. Any province that doesn't have a fort, it's a 100% chance you're going to take it. When there's a fort, the siege, like, it starts at a low chance and then starts to build up. So that's how it works. Shouldn't it be heir of Sicily or vassals of Rose? Ha! Whatever. No, Rose is obviously a lot better player than I was whenever we played that. There was a couple of things I wish would have gone differently, though. I really wish they hadn't reloaded that save, because I still swear that that would have been the end of Sicily, absolutely and unequivocally. Possibly the end of Rome, but maybe not a guarantee, because Rome is pretty... Oh, look, there's a battle about to start here at Yol. I'm going to move in and reinforce this army of Yol, because they're getting attacked by a lot of cohorts from Massalia. So you can see my troops are going to arrive, and this is the morale here. Accept the offer there. We're going to win this battle against the Massalian forces. This is good. No, hang on. What you doing? I misclicked the wrong army. I'm still not used to all the clicks in this game. I'm going to turn around and try and chase down this army. I want to chase them down and catch them before they get away. So see here, they've got another army that's engaging me. Let's bring our main forces this way too. We want to catch these guys. Shock action. Let's go to a skirmishing action. We want to catch and defeat these enemy armies early. This is a bigger army than ours, and this is actually a bad engagement. My general wasn't good enough. We're going to lose. So we're going to lose that battle. That was stupid. Over here, however, my first army is about to engage this partly beaten down Massalian army. Let's see. Fortunes of political factions rise and fall. Today, the leader of the Civic faction approached our leader with an offer of a simple gift. If we take his gift, we get a decrease to unrest. We get extra taxes. But I think we don't owe them any favors. Yeah, let's do that. We're going to take that. Okay, we're about to get in a pretty good sized battle right here. We'll be able to save that army that's fleeing because it's headed this way past our own troops. We just stack wiped the enemy, or no, we didn't. I think they backed up over here. We're about to have a big engagement though. My main army is headed this way. These guys are still fleeing. They don't have any morale, so they're still fleeing. This is going to be either really bad or really good for us right here. Remember, my generals aren't that great to start with right now. This guy is only at 6 military power here, and this is a pretty large Numidian army that we're up against, but we are going to win it, it looks like. So this is very good for us. So we're going to get a big victory over the Massilians here. Okay, let's keep pushing these guys. There's a fort here that's preventing me from moving around until I siege it. Occupied by Carthage, occupied by Carthage. Let's move into our own province here and see. He's still fleeing. We need to replenish the troops. We could hire some mercenaries. We have enough money for it. So we have a couple of stacks of mercenaries back here, rather large stacks, and there's some smaller Numidian stacks of mercenaries, and I may go for those because they'll be cheaper. Alright, it says the Civic faction and the military faction have often been at odds. Nonetheless, Himilco Barca has approached us with an olive branch, offering a limited amount of cooperation. How can we refuse? If we say splendid, then we owe the Civic faction a favor. Increase this value by 1. And it says the Civic faction will be more likely to back your diplomatic. If we say sorry, then he loses loyalty. And we can pay him and then flip the board. I'm just going to say splendid. I don't really want to do any of that other stuff right now. We need a governor over here in Baetica. Let's pick a governor with good finesse, so he can do a good job leading the people there. Alright, so this army has taken a lot of attrition. You can see we're down from 15,000 men. I'm going to actually go ahead and hire... I think I'm going to hire these mercenaries. It's going to cost me quite a bit. To disband them, it's going to cost me 78 gold, and each month I got to pay them 9 gold, so it's pretty expensive. But we're going to buy the mercenaries. They are currently exiled because I hired them in unfriendly territory. I've got to move them back into friendly territory before they're allowed to fight. That's just kind of a rule in the way the game goes. You can see these guys are replenishing over here. I'm going to try and kind of move back into some territory where I can get a little bit of replenishment on this main army as well. Okay, these guys are no longer exiled, so I'm going to use them to start taking territory. You can see my manpower here is dropping because of the men that we're having to bring into the army. I've now got subject states moving forces in. You can see they can capture territory for me. So I've now got Iol and Hadramentum and Emporia and other people moving in, so this is good. We got to watch out. Mercenaries sometimes can suck, depending on the leader. And these mercenaries do not have particularly high stats right now, so it says we're going to win this fight, but I can move reinforcements over. We'll just stay here. Alright, so they caught me in battle, and you can see my morale's pretty low to start with, so I really need my reinforcements to show up. Now we're in good shape. When you first hire mercenaries, it's going to take a little while for them to get up to like full fighting capability. You can't just hire them and throw them in and expect really awesome results. Alright, our ally is sieging here, so that's good. You see there, they're having to go out to the boats and come around. I think that's because of a zone of control on this fort. Actually, we need to head here. I'm going to send my first army down here to reinforce our troops who have been sieging. And we'll finish the siege down here. We got a new ruler. He's a tier 9 military commander. That's actually pretty exciting. I might swap him out as the general of this army after this. Alright, so we won a big victory against the Messages. Oh, there's another battle taking place up here. Crap, I don't know if we'll make it in time. Nah, we're going to lose this battle probably. Crap. So our mercenaries got defeated. I'm going to leave my ally here to siege this, and I'm going to swing up here. Let's check out our commander. I'm going to put my faction leader up here because he's already at a level 9, which is pretty dang awesome. And then let's go to that second army. And this commander is only level 4. Let's pick that guy that we just took out of the first army and put him back in. And his troops have been replenished quite a lot, so let's move forward. Let's start marching them down this way. Alright, here's my leader of the first army now at level 9. He's going to be a lot more capable. Found that 10 heavy infantry and 2 to 4 heavy cavalry is OP, but make sure you got lots of iron. Yes, I need to get heavy infantry right now. I don't have any. And it's a little more expensive to maintain. I will get some when this war is over. I don't believe we need it right now, but you make a very good point. The army composition has a lot to do, because it depends on what you're fighting and what kind of bonuses, and then your leadership also has a lot to do with it as well. Like having a high capability general is a huge thing. We need a researcher for martial advances. Let's go ahead and stick this guy in here. He's going to suck compared to the guy who was there last time, but I put him in my army, unfortunately, so I can't use him. This will make it cheaper to fabricate a claim. We're going to be doing a lot of that, so I'm going to use that technology. We have starving populations, scorned families, and that's just reminding us at war. You can also click here to see how the war is going. We have 35 war points in the positive because we are doing quite good against our opponents right now. And you can see that we are occupying a lot of Macedonian territory. I'm going to try and conquer all their land in one big go. It's going to be a little bit crazy to try and maintain it. We may even end up with a little bit of a rebellion. Let's keep moving our second army forward. We want to push the Numidian troops back. I'm just going to call them Numidians here, Massalia, whatever it is. No. Cancel out of there. Move up here. See, they're going to push out because they don't want that fight. Alright, what happened to my did my mercenaries get wiped? Nope, here they are. Let's see what this says here. Attempted bribery. In a thinly disguised attempt at bribery, Himmelcote Bark, ahead of the Civic faction, made Berikbel a particularly generous offer on behalf of his faction. It would appear the Civic faction is getting desperate. Nevertheless, Himmelcote has threatened to spread a slanderous rumor if we fail to accept his offer. So we can take his offer, and then we owe them if we don't take it, then we lose stability. That actually kind of sucks. I really don't want to lose stability right now. So, really don't want to do that. Okay, those guys are like hiding back here. Let's get them up here. Push them forward. I'm going to go look for the Numidian armies with my main army. And, yeah, here they are right here. We're going to catch them in a battle. If I can destroy the Macedonian armies, then all of my friends will come through here capturing all the territory. Definitely a rebellion. They don't let you take large amounts of territory, consequence-free. Yeah, we'll probably get a rebellion. It'll make it fun. I'm down. I'm down. I've played through this campaign a couple of times, and it's not too bad. But it can be very, very challenging, depending on what kind of rebellion you get and how it plays out. Wow, we got a huge stack here from Leptis Minor. 14,000 troops. Yeah, look at our allies just like sweeping through here right now. Yeah, typically you don't want to take a huge chunk of land like I'm about to do. It's going to create issues, but hey, I'm the heir of Carthage. I can do whatever I want in Carthage, right? Of course I can. Yeah, we're going to catch these guys in another battle right here, too. And it's very likely we're going to win, because they're demoralized from having previously lost. This is good. If we keep defeating them, we can wipe that stack out. But they're going to be able to actually recruit back to their fort here, so that's actually a bit frustrating. Supply limits are awful all throughout here. Just bad, bad, bad. Let's move our fleet up so I can bypass this fort. If you have a fleet nearby, you can use it to bypass the zone of control on that fort. And we can see we push their armies back. I want to just bypass and go attack their armies over here and then let my allies continue to sweep forward. Let's bring some of our troops up to go after this fort. And same thing with our mercenaries. Let's head to the fort. And then our first army can move across the ships and into this territory, and we'll start attacking the Massailias. What part of the USA are you from? I'm from Arkansas. Actually, I grew up in Oklahoma, but I've lived in Arkansas for a good long while now. Very nice up here right now. Very nice spring. Alright, their army's got to wait, and they may have military access with Mauritania. And it looks like that's what it is, because they're trying to flee. They don't want anything to do with me. And the zone of control from that fort is keeping me from chasing them. So it is what it is at this point. I'm just going to go ahead and conquer right over, or actually this is our city. So I can go over there and replenish a few of my troops. And then if their armies decide to come back and face me, then I'll get them. So we've chased their armies completely out of their lands, and we've gotten control of almost all of their provinces. We have a lot of war points, so we're just about at a point where we can force a peace deal on them, where I'll basically get to take all their land. This improve opinion maximum, I want to keep working on that because that'll come in really handy later. Greetings from Canada. Thanks, Eric. Thanks for joining. I think you can switch to political map mode if you don't want borders to disappear when you zoom in. Okay, thanks for the tip. I think right now I'm okay, but that's a good tip in case we ended up needing it. There's some Massailian navy here that's trapped in port. They certainly won't want to come out there and fight me. Hellenistic city wants to trade? Yes, yes please. Our income is very solid, even though we have a mercenary stack right now, so this is very good for us. We're about to make a big expansion of land here, which should give us more manpower and all kinds of other stuff, but we're likely to have disloyal provinces, which will be a fun thing to teach you about. I can definitely teach you how to get disloyal provinces. I may not be the best at teaching you how to solve them. What do you guys think? What do you think of the game? Is it fun? It took me a long time to learn a lot of this stuff, and I still have a lot to learn. A lot to learn. The game is very in-depth. It was very overwhelming at first, but after I sat down and got to mess with it for a while, it's been very rewarding. One of the things that I like to do, there's decisions here. Oh, check it out. They came over here and attacked me instead. Alright, let's load up on our transport ships. Actually, it doesn't really matter that they're attacking me over here. It's just kind of annoying because they're killing populations. What a bunch of jerks. They just went through Mauritania. Yeah, we're going to remember the fact that Mauritania allowed their armies to march through here and into our lands. I'll make them pay for that. Alright, we're suffering attrition on the seas, so I want to hurry up and move my ships around while our folks can finish this up. Oh, look, their ships came out to fight me. Yeah, good luck with that. It is going to effectively slow me down, which kind of stinks, but we'll win a decisive naval victory here. The siege, you can see, is going in our favor. We have a 35% chance of victory right now, so we're getting close to the end of that siege, probably. Strategos says it's cool. Looks like a lot of fun. It's a lot more in-depth than EU4. You're always learning with Paradox games. I have hundreds of hours in EU4 and CK2 and still learn new stuff. Yeah, I mean, the game is deep in that sense. I don't want to lose any stability. We can gain religious power, and this guy gains loyalty. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I want that. I want to gain the religious power. Alright, there we go. What's up, jerks? Teach you to be marching around in my land. Ooh, this is going to be a tough battle. We may not win. We'll see. I'm going for it. All in. All in. Win or lose. Oh, come on. Do it. Do it. Oh boy, look, we're not winning the morale fight right now. It's not good. Hold it. Hold it. Hold the line. Get him. Yeah, this was probably a bad move. We're gonna lose. I overstretched a little bit here. I figured we could do it, but we couldn't. We didn't have the right troops, and they must have had decent-ish leadership. Yeah, level 8, and they had, what kind of cohorts did they have? They had 2 elephants and some heavy cavalry. Yeah, their heavy cavalry would have been taking a dump on our light infantry. Oh well, not the end of the world. We still have huge war power on these guys, and we've almost finished securing all of their territory. Even though they've occupied some of mine, it won't matter because we have all the war power here, and there's literally nothing they can do to stop me at this point. So it kind of stinks that we lost that battle, but let's see. Disagreement at the highest level. Melkort here is a man of sound reputation. Metallo, a nobleman of great virtue, have recently started to spar furiously. Such behavior is unbecoming. People of stature, however, we've been called upon to take a side. So we can side with one of the two, or we can tell them to stop fighting, and then they both hate us. But then our Suffet gains popularity for doing that. Let's do that. Let's tell them to shut up. We gotta get our troops back on this boat so they don't get killed. And the siege, now a 42% chance. We'll probably get the victory right here on this siege. They had elephants, that explains it all. No, we didn't win the siege, so we got to go through another siege. It says white peace is imminent. So if it goes up to 1,085 days without accomplishing our objective, then a peace gets forced on us, but we have accomplished our objective, so we'll be fine. It's just trying to make sure I don't stay at war forever. So yeah, we'll be alright. Our army's up here, kind of replenishing. We obviously need to put together better troops at this point, and we will do that as soon as this war is over. Look at them over here, being typical AI. This is very much like Total War, where they ignore the important war and just go to do as much damage as they can. Holy crap! Are we ever gonna win this siege? Good grief! Oh my gosh! Usually, I've won the siege by this point, but we have not yet. My armies are acting very Carthaginian at this point, which is being quite inept. Hannibal was like the only one who ever did any good with the Carthaginian army. Oh crap, well we either have to lose a bunch of military power and money, or gain some unrest, but we get freemen. I kind of do want the extra freemen, so I'll take the unrest. We're about to have a whole lot of unrest because of all the territory we're going to conquer. Sifet Marhabo offers friendship, so we can become friends with this guy from Hadramentum. Let's do that. We have an invention. This increases our omen power, or army morale recovery, technology speed. Let's do technology speed. Getting that early seems like it would be helpful. Get another trade offer. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and move across and start retaking some of my territory here. Siege? Can we win the siege, please? Come on, boys. We're rooting for you. Come on, everybody. Pain train? Oh, come on. Ah. Yeah, still playing right now. Awesome. How are you doing, man? Hope you had a good day. Good to see you here. Senshi Bat, you're awesome too. Thanks for being here. Pilgrim, Pyrrhic Strategos, all these folks, man. The gold sponsorship. Thank you very much. Our army's recovering quite a few troops here. You can see we've eaten into our manpower quite a lot. Can we please win the siege this time? Yes! Victorious. We are victorious. Finally. 2 populations were captured, and 1 died. Alright, we can now take their last little bit of land and then force a peace agreement on them. What a siege. What a mess. Look at that. They come down here and like conquered all my land and then gone off running. Like they're just hiding down in the bottom of the map rather than fight me, even though they won that battle. Isn't that crazy? They won that battle and didn't come chase me down. How stupid. Alright, so I'm thinking we can force whatever peace terms we want on them right now. We own all of their land, so I'm going to right-click them to head into diplomacy, sue for peace. I'm going to pause the game, so that nothing happens while I'm in here. There's a cost to demanding that they give you these provinces whenever you're suing for peace, and it can't be higher than 100. All of this is less than 100, so we can demand that they give us every bit of the land, and it shows you what it is you're capturing. So we're going to turn all this land of Massalia into ours, and it's only 37. Well, it's going to give us a lot of aggressive expansion, but it's the combined value is only 53, and it can't be higher than 100, so we're good. Some people will probably scream at me. Hang on. Oh, we can ask for gold too. Hold on. We can make. Is this them giving us gold? I'm gonna wait here until you all. I can get gold from them right here. Oh yeah. Okay, it's giving gold to Carthage. Well, heck yeah. Let's get some gold. Shift control click. Oh yeah. Give me the gold. All right, that's all the gold they have. So we're gonna empty their treasury and take all their land. Make them pay. All right, so the Massailian elite, we get a chance to do what we want with them. Basically, after protracted conquest, we finally routed the Massailian armies and laid waste to their lands. During the sacking of their capital, many important prisoners were taken, many of them having been previously held important positions in the clan council. They now languish in our dungeons awaiting the fate. So we can give them no quarter, kill them all, and it makes our Sufet more popular. We can banish them, and then we're going to lose some aggressive expansion. And we have a lot of aggressive expansion for what we just did. A lot. We can... important characters will be imprisoned, which means we lose popularity. Or we can pass judgment on them individually. I'm just going to give them no quarter. We're going to execute them. So they have been executed. Now, the problem is this. The war is now over. Great. We own their land. But almost assuredly, these provinces are probably going to have a lot of unrest. And if you look what we did here, our aggressive expansion is like absolutely through the roof because of how much we expanded. It's going to start going down by 0.15 per month, but it has to go all the way down from 37. So that's a lot. That's a lot. So the loyalty of our subject states is down because of this penalty, so that's kind of risky by me because it may turn some of my subject states against me. And then everywhere where we have wrong culture, you know, there's a big penalty for that. So we'll want to start converting culture, and we can start doing that in the macro builder. So you can see these provinces are disloyal, so I can't even build buildings there. So what we're going to do is come in here to the convert pops. And so we can convert our citizens, we can convert tribesmen, slaves. Do you all know, is it better to start converting tribesmen and slaves, or should you start from the top? That piece I haven't picked up on yet. It's from Total War, but really in depth, and there's no battle map. Yep, pretty much. Pretty much. This is a Paradox grand strategy game. All of their games are super deep and complex. Think of a Total War campaign map. Yeah, that pretty much. Pretty much. Now, it's not trying to be Total War. They're very different than a Total War game, I would actually say. Very different. Do you guys know about that? Is it better to convert at the bottom to get the happiness up because you have a lot of tribesmen and slaves? Or is it better to go the other way? If anybody knows the answer, then let me know, but I'm not sure I really know the best way. I definitely don't want a slave revolt. It costs religious power to convert to populace. It's pretty expensive. Wouldn't you want to start with the citizens? I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know. Yeah, tribesmen and freemen are good for your manpower. That's why they said to get them for war. Just do slaves and freemen first. Yeah, I was kind of thinking that because we have fewer populations of citizens. So I'm going to start converting the population. We can kind of just click anywhere it's green. And these disloyal provinces, by converting these populations, should be helpful to us. We can also assimilate populations. So I'm going to start assimilating the tribesmen. This takes oratory power, because I guess you got to go talk them into all your policies. We're going to run out of oratory power well before we're done with this. Okay, we now have quite a lot of money. We need to spend it on some buildings. I'm gonna work on some granaries and marketplaces. All right, so we're gonna look and start building some of those through here. So, granary, marketplace. There's probably better places to build these than others. I don't really know. I just kind of build stuff. I'm assuming you want the marketplace to be in a place that's making more tax income, so I should probably be paying attention. I want to build a couple of training camps too, so we can start to replenish manpower faster. And the more freemen, I think freemen have better manpower replenishment than tribesmen, so we'll want to promote some of our freemen eventually. You can see we're still losing troops to attrition, so let's take care of that. And it's because our troops down here are overweighted. We're going to take these mercenaries and disband them. We no longer need them. That's going to cost us some gold. Man, I don't have enough. I think it'll put us into the negative, but I don't want to do that. Let's cancel. We'll have to have enough gold. We're okay. I'm going to start walking back this way so that we'll stop taking attrition. Sit plate. And then my main army here, let's put it on the boats and head back to Carthage. Guys, if you like, give some money. It's nice thing to do. You guys do not need to give me money, but thanks, Nicola. Oh, sweet. We can improve our light cavalry here. Oh, actually, no, we want to do this mercenary maintenance and recruitment, because Carthage relies a lot on mercenaries, and so we're going to use our first military tradition on skilled recruiters. So this will make our mercenaries cheaper. It's a good move in Rome, too, and it's a good move in this game. That much is for sure. I head this fleet back to Carthago. I think this is the one with our troops on it. Yeah, it is. Okay. So the fleet's headed back to Carthage. We want to stop taking attrition because it's draining our manpower. Our second army needs to head back here as well. I'm going to reposition them if I can find a place with good supplies. Like right here. This will work. I'm going to garrison them over here on the western edge of our republic. Destroy the Turdetani? Yeah, we could. Here's Turdetania. I'll tell you what I want to do, actually. There's a decision that I really like. Decisions are kind of like things you can shoot for as a faction, and one of them is New Carthage. And see if I highlight it, see the area that pops up in green now there in Iberia? If we conquer all that, we can do this New Carthage decision, which gets us a whole bunch of extra populations, and then increases growth and income and civilization levels. Pretty cool. So New Carthage, I think, is probably going to be one of our first main goals, depending on how things go down. We got to get rid of some of this aggressive expansion right now, folks. That's going to be our main effort. Guardhust. Yeah, New Carthage. So, yeah, we finished our buildings. Manpower is recovering slightly, but we need to get our folks out of the attrition zones. Request from a local envoy, accept the offer, accept the offer. Let's pause it real quick. Rebellion will break out in 34 months. There's a risk of some provinces or subjects starting a rebellion in Carthage due to 20.20 of the population being from a foreign culture and living in a disloyal province. We could move some of those populations, but that also takes one of the different points that we have up on top. There's a threshold of 20% calculated base 20%. So we're going to have a rebellion if we don't do something about it. So basically it's saying, if we take a look at our, let's go to the province map mode. Yeah, there's probably a loyalty actually. Population, diplomacy, barbarian, trade, region, supply, civilization, opinion, unrest, loyalty. Alright, so see where it's really unloyal? It's obviously not good. So we could end up in a rebellion in these places, and this is our governor and kind of what they're, showing the population, all that kind of stuff. So these folks are disloyal. They don't belong to the same religion. They don't belong to the same culture, and we just conquered them. They're not happy about it, and they're going to potentially rebel. So we need to get that chance down, and in order to do that, we can either move these somewhat rebellious subjects to a different place, or we can convert them, or do other things to try and reduce the potential for revolt. So let's go back into our terrain map mode. Actually, we'll stay in that one for a minute. So, like these settlements here, these are the populations that hate us right now. We can convert some of these and it'll help, but we're not going to be able to do it on a big enough scale because I just don't have enough money. And you can move them, but see, that also takes the civic power, which I don't really have. So guess what, folks? We're probably going to have a rebellion. So get ready. The fun continues. Get ready. That's why you don't want to take a huge swath of land like that all at once, by the way, in case anybody was wondering. It's not very manageable. Should be fun. If you take Egypt, you'll be unstoppable. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really interested in Egypt at the moment. I know it would be kind of fun for people to watch, but Egypt, I really want to take Rome and then get New Carthage. You can see Rome is already expanding into Etruria, so that's kind of cool. We need some heavy infantry, folks. We also need to disband our mercenaries that we no longer need. And I have enough gold to disband them. We should make a decent income, and we should be able to afford some heavy infantry. It's going to take gold for me to recruit heavy infantry. You should totally take India. Yeah, that would be very difficult. This game doesn't allow you to just like waltz over to India. You'd have to be able to control a route over to it. So it would be very challenging. And Maurya has enormous manpower and armies. They have 121 cohorts and 157,000 manpower out of a 382,000 total popul. So look at that, 6,598 populations and 520 cities. Yeesh. Yeah. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. That would be a war to end all wars, folks. A war to end all wars. Alright, we can get a new invention. Omen power, morale recovery, military tech investment. Let's do military tech investment right now. Yeah, there we go. See, that kicked us up to 70%. That's good. Still not great, but you know, it's better than what we had. I understand there's a bad research. Whoa, hang on. Yep, so was that the rebellion? Hold on, I totally missed it. I don't know, I think it was... Was that the rebellion? Rebellion will break out in 30 months. I didn't catch that. I don't know where you can go back or if you can go back. Open the message log. There it was. That doesn't seem like all the messages that I just saw. It's like just a whole bunch of other dumb stuff. Alright, whatever. Get off my screen. We're gonna have a rebellion. It's just a matter of time, folks. Alright, let's take a look, and I may disband some of our light infantry. So let's go into create a new unit. Some of these light infantry are loyal to our commander, and they won't allow me to disband them right now. So I'm going to take the ones that don't have that little hand. I'm going to move them over here. I want to get rid of a little bit of the light infantry. So I'm going to select this one now and disband these troops. And now I'm going to come back into our commander and recruit to army. I'm going to get some hoplites. I think five cohorts of hoplites would be a good start. And I'd kind of like more war elephants. I may start off with like a couple of heavy cavalry maybe. They're pretty expensive. But it'll make our army significantly stronger. The fall of Castra Purum here. Rebel slaves has been sent shockwaves to their society. The slaves sent a messenger asking that we allow them to settle as free men in that area, and that we promised them amnesty. It says, without a doubt, giving in to any such demands would be seen as an affront to all slave owners in Carthage, but it may make the quickest way to end this conflict. We will not negotiate with slaves, which makes them all even more unhappy. Local slaves joined the rebel army. Join the rebel army. If we do this, the freemen are happier, but we lose stability and have to pay a whole lot of money. Yeah, I'm not paying money, so let's just get the rebellion over with. Alright, so see, there's a rebellious army up here. Let's go crush it. Our main army is finishing its recruiting. See, just about 15 more days till we get our forces. Alright, optional tie. The head of the devout religious faction has approached us with a broad smile, so he's obviously trying to bribe us. Without a trace of this sickly grin leaving his visage, he politely offers his support to a portion of the resistant faction. Whatever, I'm not losing 215 gold. The Admiral of the 3rd Navy loses loyalty. That's not, we don't want to lose our Navy. Owe them a favor. I'm not losing 860, are you kidding me? What a joke. We'll lose loyalty on this guy, screw him. Alright, where's my 3rd Navy? I'm going to get him out of command of that fleet. Because he's going to be fairly disloyal. Get the heck out, pal. Let's put this guy in here, he's a very loyal character. Alright. Alright, so we got another revolt here, which is unfortunate because tribesmen are dying, which is taking populations away and they're joining the army. It really stinks, but whatever, we're just going to have to put it down. Accept offer. I'm going to continue to march over here and try and catch up with these rebels. You rebel scum. Yeah, there's some big rebellion coming. That's why I want to have a good army here. So see, now we've got an army that's going to be a little more powerful here with some heavy infantry. The elephants, not bad. It'll help us get the job done. March faster, you lazy turds. Let's go look at the stance on this army now, by the way. Our guy's up to level 9 leadership, so it's not bad. Not bad. See, this one is shock action now looks like potentially the best one for us to kind of use as a default, but it kind of also depends on what your enemy army is doing as well. Elections are coming up. We have starving populations and disloyal provinces. I'm quite aware of the disloyal province, though there is probably not a ton that I can do about it at the moment. Might be able to do a little. Alright, we have our new ruler. He's terrible with military, pretty decent at civic. Yeah, this is an awful leader. Not a good leader. Still chasing down the rebel army that's just running away from us. Alright. Not gonna negotiate. Alright, we're gonna win that battle there if we get a hold of them. As far as the disloyal provinces, let's put in a good leader. And it's on autonomy here, which is good. Let's take a look. Alright, so we defeated the slave revolt. We can make an example of them, which sounds pretty good to me. We can show them amnesty, which makes the slaves happier. This one makes the freemen and the citizens happier, but that's not really my big problem right now, I don't think. We will be protected from new slave revolts for 15 years. Yeah, let's do that one. Okay, so we put down the slave revolt. Get back over to where we're not suffering attrition. What are you folks thinking? Do you like the game so far? Would you like to see more? Interesting? I find it interesting. If you guys hate it, obviously I don't have to show more of it, but I think it's pretty fun, and it's relevant to my channel in the sense that I'm the heir of Carthage, and here's a game where we get to play as Carthage, which is honestly pretty cool. At least it seems cool to me. I like it. It doesn't look like much in terms of the graphics, but the game is fun, and there's some depth to it that's entertaining. You kind of get attached to certain characters that become your leaders, and certain armies that you get real excited about. And I mean, it's pretty fun to me. Some people say I like to do it. I do enjoy it. I don't think it's going to get near as many views as like a Warhammer video, which is fine. That's my channel's main, right? Not this. National unrest goes down with the blessing of Shapash. Let's do that one. So yeah, I do enjoy it. It would never take over as a main to like Total War, but I was thinking about doing like a once a week thing on here, and then the next time I play, what would you all think if some of you, if you have the game, you can join in and start playing as some of these other factions, because I'm pretty sure we can do that. So I don't know if anybody would enjoy that. I think that'd be kind of cool. Let some human-controlled players in. Human-controlled factions. Human-controlled players, obviously. Human-controlled factions. How's our money? Oh, our money situation's really good right now. Really good. I'm about to have to get off here for tonight, but hopefully this has been entertaining to you all. We captured a huge swath of land. I got to explain the game a little to some who know nothing. I still know very little. So take it with a grain of salt. Ha! Coming from the air Carthage, right? Take it with salt. Um, anyway, there's a lot to learn. It's a fun game. Some people may ask me whether or not I would recommend it. I mean, I've had fun with it. I've played almost 30 hours in the game at this point, and I mean, I enjoy it. I want to play it more. I've already captured Rome, and I would want to capture more and see what I could do. So I enjoy it. But I think this has been a good start tonight. We are going to suffer a rebellion, almost certainly. We can stay on here for a few more months and see what happens with the rebellion, and then we'll pick it up from there on the next episode. Okay? But we're likely to see that rebellion. I could pause it and, I mean, maybe see if we don't have much religious power. I could use some of my oratory power to try and calm these people down by, like, promoting or assimilating, but I don't think it's going to be enough to stop it. So I don't really want to spend up all my power knowing that it's not likely to stop. Eventually, we will want to, I think the goals of the campaign would be to establish New Carthage, and then to conquer Italy. And then if we wanted to keep playing, we could set up some fun objectives after that, right? But I think those are the obvious objectives. Establish New Carthage, and then take Italy. So yeah, that's what I would think in terms of like good objectives to start with. More deep to characters could help the Total War campaigns. Yeah, I mean that's one of the things I've liked about Warhammer. Not a very deep campaign map by any means, and that's fine. In the context of that game, I don't really want a deep campaign map. But I do like the fact that you get really invested in characters. And in this game, characters are also really important. I had a level 14 general who was just kicking the crap out of everybody. And so you do get attached to the characters. And certain leaders, like especially if you're in like a monarchy type government, certain leaders have a huge role to play. And when you get them out like leading your military and stuff, it is really cool. Yeah, you can see this, the rebellion is coming very soon, 6 months. Let's just see it real quick, and then like I said, then I'll pause it and hop off for the night. Excited for Three Kingdoms? Me too, Pilgrim. Me too. I think it's going to be fun. You all do need to join me on Saturday. I'm going to be doing a special stream on Saturday. I'll get it scheduled soon. As soon as I can, actually. But yeah, you all make sure and be keeping an eye out for Saturday. Probably early afternoon U.S. Central Time. So that's 6 hours behind London time. So keep an eye out for it. Have something special for y'alls. Y'all. Anything I show on stream, if you can't catch it, it will get uploaded afterwards, so don't worry. Alright, it's almost rebellion time. 3 months. Ooh, gain a training camp? Sure. I need to focus on manpower in the next episode too. But we kind of need to get our provinces calmed down before we can really focus on watching live as my lifeblood. Our aggressive expansion's going down slightly, and our tyranny is ever so slowly dropping as well. This is good. Alright, here comes rebellion. Rebellion. There we go. So a trade route has disappeared. We're no longer importing horses because of what happened. No longer importing grain. Herald from Massalia. They are leading a war of independence against us. Alright, so Massalia has rebelled. So this is the rebellious area. I've still got all my allies close by that should help me go stomp them. This is where we'll pick up next time. So I hope you all are excited. We're back at war, part 2. With Massalia. I'm going to get my main army and start, I'm actually going to load them up on the ships, they'll get there faster. But anyway, this is where we'll pick up next time. So thank you for joining, and next time we will fight the rebellious armies of Massalia. Hopefully we'll finally put these provinces under control, and then I'm going to show you all a little bit different side of the coin. I'm going to try and use some diplomacy. I know I'm not very good at it and it may not succeed, but I'm going to try and use a little diplomacy to see if we can gain the lands for New Carthage. We may just end up having to go to war, but we'll see on the next episode. So next week, join me. I don't know exactly what day yet, but keep an eye out for it. We'll play some more Imperator Rome, and I will see you all then. Thanks for joining. Appreciate you being here.